service will begin shortly. If you're joining us on join the conversation in live chat or watching content. If you'd like to participate in the full service discussion, you can join us live on Zoom using the Sunday service link at sanctuary.org.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Beautiful day to be alive.
Indeed. It's really nice to be here with you all.
Welcome, and thank you for joining our sanctuary community and celebration. Our Sunday services are a devoted space for authentic connection, spiritual growth, and co-created exploration. My name is Mary, and I will be guiding today's service. We're especially glad to have those joining us for the first time, whether you're here live with us on Zoom or joining through our YouTube live stream. Your presence adds to the joy of this gathering. If you are watching on YouTube, we invite you to join the conversation in the live chat and tell us where you're from today. Where you're watching from, actually. We don't have to know your address. In fact, you can keep that on your own. For those joining us on Zoom, feel free to turn on your video if you'd like, so we can see one another as we share this time together. Sanctuary is there we go. Sorry, I'm running a little rough today. Sanctuary Church is a faith-based organization. Our faith in sacred mushrooms stems from both the prehistoric use by our ancestors and the personal experiences of our modern members. Sacred mushrooms are among the greatest sacraments nature offers, raising our awareness so that we may access a direct connection to the source of life. It is our belief that the consumption of sacred mushrooms is a form of communion that brings us closer to what many may know as God, Source, the All, and many other names. We understand this divine source as pure consciousness, the essence that permeates all being. This pure consciousness, we believe, is the source of creation and the origin of health and well-being. Our vision and mission at Sanctuary is to live in a world with supportive and joyful communities, empowered to discover our own divinity with sacred mushrooms and with each other. We bring people together for connection to divine revelation through communion with sacred mushrooms. Our vision, but what are we going to expect from that? Each Sunday, we begin with news and updates from our sanctuary community, followed by a short guided meditation and a moment of gratitude for our sacrament and all who commune with it. We'll then read from 2 sacred texts, take time for personal reflection, and move into a facilitated community discussion. For those joining us live on Zoom, that discussion is a chance to share insights, ask questions, and explore the readings together in a thoughtful and growth-oriented space. If you're watching on YouTube and would like to participate in that conversation, you're warmly invited to join us inside Zoom. You can find the weekly Zoom link at Psanctuary.org on the Sunday service page. Please take a moment now to find a comfortable space where you can settle in and be present as we begin our service. Before we settle into our meditation, there are some news and updates. There's a foundation integration workshop. Our next foundation ceremony integration workshop with Courtney is happening this Thursday, July 16, from 6 to 7:30 Eastern. If you're a Foundations member, you're invited to join us as we reflect on recent ceremony experiences, whether you've communed with us recently in Kentucky or in your own sacred space at home. Together, we'll share in meditation, guided reflection, and community exploration as we continue integrating the wisdom of our experiences. Foundations members will receive the Zoom link by email on the day of the workshop, and you can RSVP through Mighty Networks. We hope to see you there. As usual, every Monday, there is a Haudenosaunee Thanksgiving address that we are invited to join at 11 o'clock Pacific, 2 o'clock Eastern, I believe. And the link for that is on Mighty Networks. We also have our biweekly virtual IFS meeting this Monday night, starting at 6:30 Eastern. We have a busy week. We also have a level 2 coaching workshop with Eric this Tuesday, July 14, from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. This month's theme is what the RFRA means for me as a space holder. If you're currently enrolled in level 2 or you're a level 2 graduate with an alumni membership, you're invited to join us for an evening of grounding, guided reflection, journaling, and conversation as we explore what it means to cultivate power within ourselves and support it in others. Be sure to RSVP in Mighty Networks. You can find all upcoming events in the public and members-only calendars by joining our Mighty Networks community through Psanctuary.org. And now, let's turn inward, grounding ourselves in breath and presence as we enter our meditation together. I now invite Courtney to lead us in a short meditation.
Thank you very much, Mary. Can everybody hear me okay? Sometimes my mic's a little low. Okay, awesome. Welcome. Good morning, everyone. I'm so grateful to be here with you all. Check out the chat if you haven't already. I posted a picture in there that will help us all with the meditation. It's really not a meditation, it's more of an energy practice this morning to rebuild our energy field. So you'll see in the chat a picture I put in there of a person with a toroidal field around them. I know some of y'all are familiar with the toroidal field, but if you're not, the picture kind of shows you what it is. And that's what we'll be working with during this energy practice. Just a little context on this. This practice was inspired by Dr. Robert Gilbert. He's the founder of the Vesica Institute, which has many fantastic energy practice videos and talks, lectures online. He's also an anthroposophist, which basically is a fancy word, hard to say word, meaning a student of Rudolf Steiner. And this rotating text that we're reading from today weaves in some of Steiner's work. So I thought, why not bring in a Robert Gilbert energy practice? So again, this is focusing on the toroidal field. So harmonizing the heavens above, the earth below, and the human that meets in between. This is a field that can be found all throughout nature. It's found in the earth, it's found in the sun, it's found in our heart, and our human being. So you can do this practice ideally standing up, but I'm going to do it sitting down because I'm not set up right now to stand for service. So I'm going to do it sitting down. So just do whatever is comfortable for you. If you're going to stand up, then just spread your feet so that you can have soft knees about a hip's distance apart. And if you're sitting, then try and get your feet on the ground. If you can. If you're not able to do that, then you can take a moment now to just simply bring your attention to the connection you have with the earth. And I'll give us all a few moments here to get into whatever position makes the most sense for us. I'm going to get my feet on the ground. All right. So you can have your eyes open or closed for this, whatever feels better for you. We're going to begin by bringing our attention to the space beneath our feet. And we're going to consciously, with our mind's eye and just feeling into inwardly the energy that runs through the central channel of our body. So from our feet, through our legs, through our torso, our heart, our throat, and through the crown of our head. And you can do the hand movements or not, whatever is comfortable for you. But with the hands, you can help direct this energy by moving your hands up through the central channel above to the top of your head and outwards in the sphere around your body, and then back down. So we're essentially in this first movement, which we're going to do through breaths here in a moment, moving this energy through the central channel from below our feet up through it and around through the sphere. And we're going to do that 5 times with an inhale and an exhale. So you don't have to move your hands. You can just imagine this energy moving through. So with the inhale, we're going to take a full inhale starting underneath our feet, breathing in fully and imagining this energy rising through the center of our body, all the way up to the top above our head. And then exhaling fully and feeling the energy almost like a willow tree branches, just moving down all around our body, back underneath the feet. We're going to do that 4 more times, taking an inhale in, energy moving up to the center of our body, all the way up to the top, and fully exhaling it out, letting it wash around the sphere of our body. And 3 more times at your own pace. Out 1 more time. And after your final exhale, just bring your attention back to your center and ask yourself quietly, How is this practice shaping my field? And notice what comes up. See if you have any more awareness of your energetic field running through and around you. Now we're going to move into the second movement. So essentially reversing the awareness of the energy channel. So instead of moving from underneath our feet all the way up to our head, we're now going to reverse it and move from above our head down through our center channel below our feet and then back upwards with the exhale. So just reversing what we just did. So now starting with our hands above our head if you want, or just bringing your awareness there and taking a nice full inhale as you move the energy down the center of your body, all the way down below your feet. And now fully exhaling out as the energy comes up beside you, in front of you, behind you, all the way up above your head. And we're going to do this 4 more times. Inhaling in, moving the energy down. And then exhaling out fully, and the energy washing upwards, up towards the top of our head. And do this a few more times at your own pace. One more time. And after that last exhale, again, checking in with yourself, asking yourself quietly, how has this practice shaped my field? Simply noticing what you notice. And now we're going to move to the last movement, which is bringing both of these movements together. So bringing the earth rising and the heaven descending and meeting in that 0 point field. So essentially these currents are going to be passing each other. This is actually really, really tricky. I'm still getting the hang of this, but it gets easier as you keep doing it. So as you inhale, the current flowing from above your head is going to flow down while the current flowing below from the earth is flowing up, and they're passing each other in the center and then also in the sphere around you, creating this toroidal field movement. So I'm not even going to try to do the movements with my hands. I'm just going to do it within myself for 5 breaths. So just do this at your own pace and see how it feels. So inhaling, currents passing in the center, and exhaling, currents passing in the sphere. 4 more times. Last time. And after that last exhale, asking for the final time, how has this practice shaped my energetic field? And simply notice how you're feeling now versus when you sat down before this practice. And to close the practice, if your eyes are closed before you open them, or if your eyes are open, just to close the practice, you can snap one of your fingers and one of your hands and open your eyes, or just return to the Zoom room together. And this is an awesome, just side note, this is an awesome practice to do once you get the hang of it. As you enter into the mushroom ceremony space, and also just integrating and preparing for ceremony. It's simply fantastic. So hope that was helpful today. Thank you all.
Thank you, Courtney, for guiding us so beautifully. I feel more energetic, actually. While we remain in this mindful, centered space, I invite us all to take a few moments to send loving intention to our sacrament and to all who cultivate or commune with these sacred mushrooms. Without these gifts of our Creator and the communion of our members, this community would not exist. The awareness brought forth by our sacrament is not limited to the moments when we consume the mushroom. It extends into every aspect of our lives, spreading like the mycelium throughout our world. Through intention and attention, we call forth the power of the mushroom and the community we have formed around it. Let us use our ever-expanding awareness to bring greater peace through connection to our world. May we radiate gratitude from our hearts to our Creator, our community, and those who nurture and grow our sacraments. In cultivating and communing with our sacraments, we become aware of the oneness of life, the knowing that we live in all things and that all things live in us. May we carry this understanding into all of our relationships and allow it to guide us in our journey as members of the human family. Thank you, everyone. And now we're ready for our Tao Te Ching reading. For more than 2,500 years, the Tao Te Ching has offered guidance and insight into the paradox of existence. Because this paradox is so often encountered when communing with our sacrament, we turn to this short book as our primary sacred text. We invite all who feel called to study it further as you explore the mysteries of life.
And Mary, I'll read. We kind of changed things up where the discussion lead is reading the reading, so I can read these.
I think it was you that was on the reading list, so yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I was
great.
expecting you to read, sorry.
Okay, cool. All right, so this is verse 27. Here we go. A good traveler leaves no tracks, and a skillful speaker is well rehearsed. A good bookkeeper has an excellent memory, and a well-made door is easy to open and needs no locks. A good knot needs no rope, and it cannot come undone. Thus, the master is willing to help everyone and doesn't know the meaning of rejection. She is there to help all of creation and doesn't abandon even the smallest creature. This is called embracing the light. What is a good person but a bad person's teacher? What is a bad person but raw material for his teacher? If you fail to honor your teacher or fail to enjoy your student, you will become deluded, no matter how smart you are. It is the secret of prime importance.
The wisdom of the Tao reminds us that truth often lives in the spaces between words, in the stillness, in the mystery, and in our shared experiences. Our rotating text today was selected by Courtney, and it's Speaking with Angels by Iris Pexino.
yeah, I'm really looking forward to exploring this text with you all further in discussion, which I hope most of y'all are able to stay for. All right. So, Speaking with Angels by Iris Paxino. It's not merely the things we learn, the items of knowledge, but the beings of the higher hierarchies themselves who help us when we know about them. Rudolf Steiner. In our era as modern people, our experience of ourselves is very much shaped by our feelings. We identify directly with what we feel, but we are unaware that, from a spiritual perspective, feelings are beings with whom our heart realm connects. Joy and hope, sadness or fear are not simply moods in the sense of fluctuating energies that stream through us, but in every instance, they are very specific astral or spirit beings whom we allow into us, who live for a period at a time in our soul and act there. As yet, we have scarcely learned to detach ourselves from identification with these powers in the soul that we call feelings, and to regard them as something that is not ourselves. We experience this realm of feelings and emotions as being directly connected with our heart. The heart, as the central organ of our human existence, forms our most intimate interiority. At the same time, it mediates between our thinking and our will, and is both a gateway to the outer world and to our own inner life. It's an evolving sense organ which will enter increasingly into conscious connection with spiritual reality through lived experience.
Altitude suggests that when one is in tune with their inner intelligence, they can appreciate the value of every experience and connection. Iris Paxino has received the message from angels that our feelings are the communication of unseen beings, helpers that have always been with us to assist us in navigating this realm. What feeling have you been ignoring or rejecting that is trying to teach you something? In what way might you honor that feeling/being? We're now going to begin 5 minutes of reflection before moving into our open discussion where we'll explore both readings together. If you're joining us on YouTube, feel free to share in the live chat what words or ideas from the readings resonate with you. Now let's take out our journals and pens for 5 minutes of reflection. If you're watching on YouTube, you're welcome to take this moment for reflection as well. You might even share a word or insight in the live stream chat. I'm setting my timer for 5 minutes now. 1 minute remaining. Please begin wrapping up your thoughts. As we come to this time of reflection, I'd like to invite Courtney to share a brief reflection with us, integrating today's reading and offering a perspective to carry us into our discussion.
Thank you very much, Mary. So, this text I chose, gosh, it just seemed to show up at the right time for me. I was really inspired to select this reading by Iris Paxino after our last ceremony in Kentucky a couple weekends ago, where I actually started reading this book on the morning of integration. So really early in the morning, which anybody who was there at ceremony knows none of us really got much sleep because it rained the entire time. So, and it rained. When I say rain, it wasn't sprinkling, it was raining hard. And so I woke up really early in the morning and started reading this book, which I just threw in my bag and thought, if I have any time to read, I want to check out this book. Eric has been reading it in a Rudolf Steiner study group he participates in at our kids' school. So they've been reading on it for at least a couple months now. And it seemed to open up a new perspective in him. So I've been really curious about some of the things that were shared in the book. So the book is called Speaking with Angels. And I honestly, when I saw the title of the book, I kind of dismissed it, like reactively dismissed it, because it's talking about talking with angels. And I have had this association with angels my entire life, really, that I've kind of associated with just like, oh, like fantasy kind of thing. But the way that there's been several experiences recently that have opened me up to considering that maybe there is such a thing as angel beings. I'm not going to go into detail about all those experiences recently, but one of them is what Eric was sharing with me about what he learned in this book. One of which things is that in this book, and Rudolf Steiner also talks a lot about this, is that each person, each of us, has an angel and many angels, and that not only each person has an angel, but each formed group has an angel. Like our sanctuary community has an angel, multiple angels helping it. And not only that, but like schools have angels, regions have angels, all assigned to help us. And that combined with hearing more about many folks' near-death experiences and outer body experiences lately, and communicating with angels has me really considering that maybe this is not just a biblical type of fairy tale that I once thought it was. So at ceremony, I'm reading this book early in the morning on the integration morning day. And gosh, yeah, many of you know that the last ceremony just did not go as planned and in most of the ways. Like there was torrential downpours the entire time. Our where we actually communed, where we dosed, was a different part of the property than we were planning to. So we moved our ceremony site. We ended up, most of us slept in the pavilion there, the covered pavilion, because we couldn't camp because it was storming so hard. And then our entire campsite got totally flooded. The river actually rose like 20 plus feet to meet our campsite. So our campsite was completely flooded and underwater. And actually quite a few people died in the area, not at ceremony, but in the general area. So lots of love to those families that experienced that. It was a really intense time. And before I picked up this book, that integration morning on ceremony day, as we were going into ceremony and it was just raining and raining and raining and things just weren't going as planned, I thought, I'm really gonna, I decided my intention was going to be as a space holder, as I was a designated space holder, so somebody who's there to support the folks that are communing in ceremony, that as a space holder, I was going to really practice talking to my and our unseen helpers in the space, and just really be receptive to the messages that come, and stay in that space of acknowledging the unseen world of helper beings. And so I shared on a recent space holder call that that's the most I've ever done that in the ceremony space. Really being able to, ironically, because of the rain, not allowing us to move around much. It was kind of hard to be moving around physically in the ceremony space because there was so much rain and we were all just in the spot that we could be in. I was just able to sit or stand really and be in that energetic space. So I was consistently talking to everybody's helpers, like, okay, I acknowledge that there's people or there's beings that are helping this person and that person and that person. Thank you. I'm open and receptive to hearing your messages and being of service wherever I can be. And so I did that the whole ceremony day. And like, despite, or maybe despite isn't the best term to use, but with the rain, there was just things flowed so much easier than I would have ever expected with such a unexpected situation. And I just, I kept acknowledging the unseen helpers in the space. Thank you. Please keep sending your messages and communications. I'm listening. I'm open. And so by the time integration morning came around and I picked up this book, I had the space to read this angel book. This is a very long-winded way of getting to the point, but I picked up this book and she opens the book with a story about she was in a rush one day and she looked down and there was a small white feather on her coat and it landed on her heart. And it really struck her, like it stood out to her as something to pay attention to. And shortly thereafter that, she ended up speaking to a new angel and a new angel helper that was communicating to her with this feather. And I thought, oh, that's a nice story. That's really interesting. And fast forward to after integration, we're all rushing around, we're cleaning up, like there's, debris and tons of stuff to do because of the rain that happened. And I'm sweeping up in the pavilion, and I look down and there's 3 small white feathers in front of me. And I just halt completely. And I get chills all over my body. And I just think, what is this? Like, I just read this morning. I've been all of yesterday, the most I've ever done intentionally asking for support, sending gratitude to unseen helpers. And then I read this in the book, and then here it is right here in front of me. And it felt like such a communication of support. So I'm really grateful to be bringing this reading to you all today. And I'm really curious if there's anything coming up for you all with it, if you have experiences where you're speaking with unseen helpers, beings communicating with feelings or other messages, and yeah, just exploring this more together and how we can pay more attention to these communications that come up for us. So we're going to shortly, I'm going to pass it back to Mary here shortly, I believe. And then we're going to come back and have a group discussion. And then I'd really like to, after that, go into breakout groups of like 6 to 8 people, just so we can get to know each other just a little bit and have a more intimate space to talk. So really looking forward to it. Thank you all so much. Mary, back to you.
Thank you, Courtney. Yes, as we move forward toward our community discussion, we want to extend the invitation for those in our live stream. Each week, members from across the country gather in our Zoom space for a rich and thoughtful exploration of the readings, sharing insights, questions, and reflections from their own journeys. Did we switch? We did not. I tried to share our screen.
We're on the discussion agreements.
Okay, that's what you're seeing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. There we go. Okay, good. On my side, it looked like I was still just looking at you. Okay. Each week, members from across the country gather in our Zoom space for a rich and thoughtful exploration of the readings, sharing insights, questions, and reflections from their own journeys. These conversations are shaped by curiosity and a shared desire for growth. If you're watching on YouTube and would like to participate in this discussion, we would love to welcome you. You can join the conversation by visiting Psanctuary.org and navigating to the Sunday service page to receive the Zoom link. At Psanctuary, we're building something truly unique in the psychedelic ecosystem, a living community centered on spiritual autonomy, trained peer support, and collective care. This space grows because each of us contributes to it. Like the mycelium supporting the forest, your generosity helps sustain and nourish this community. Every gift strengthens the roots that allow this network to flourish. We would also like to take a moment to thank those who make this community space possible. If you feel called to contribute, you can visit Psanctuary.org and click the Give button at any time. Your support helps us continue creating spaces for learning, growth, and meaningful connection for everyone who gathers here.